I want to make a boat, specifically a kayak. And to make a boat, I'm not a woodworker. I'm not great with all that wood. Usually, I work with metal, ingots, blocks. But for a boat, you need something light. And me, I need it easy to work with. So we're gonna use recycled plastic. You can see I've got a bunch right here. I've got this paper thin piece, which is just grocery bags ironed together. And then this is a bigger, thicker piece, which a lot more grocery bags ironed together. This is what we're gonna use along with block pieces like this, except for it's gonna be bent into a perfectly curved rib. I'm gonna make a jig for that. But we're gonna take this stuff and we're gonna use the heat gun to fuse it to the frame. And with this frame and this, we should be able to go kayaking in a recycled plastic boat. That's gonna be an epic video. But first we gotta test and see if that's actually gonna work. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna turn this into a miniature boat. So we'll get to that. Okay, so you see here I've got this saw blade. This is just the only flat piece of steel I have, so I don't wanna cook the plywood underneath it. But I've got this can, which I think I'm gonna use to do the curve. I've tried just bending it while it's not hot, but you can see that causes cracks. So we're gonna be using the heat gun along with this can to try and get the shape. Okay, so we were having some trouble. I kind of got it formed, but here's my plan right now. I'm gonna take my little clamps and I'm going to clamp the ends of the boat. And then I'm just gonna focus on sort of forming it, and then we're gonna focus on fusing the ends together. But I think this might actually work, so hooray. We got that clamped, and it's like this kind of looking boaty. Okay, so the bottom is kind of forming a wanky doodle thingy, and I don't like it. So we're gonna try and make it stop going wonky like I don't want. Right, we're gonna take this hammer and we're gonna press. We're gonna try and form it like that. How we want it to form, instead of how it wants to form, because I am. Okay, so we've got our iron and we're gonna press it on that, but we don't wanna ruin our iron because it's not actually our iron, it's our mom's iron. So we get in big trouble if we mess it up. I mean, not that big. We just have to buy a new one, which we do not want to do. So we're gonna just turn it on. All right, so right here we have our little boat. I can see a little hole forming right there. So I'm gonna actually fold this over. I hope that we can fix that problem before it becomes massive. Okay, so we have mostly this end sealed up, but now there's a little hole that's formed, so we're going to take this stinking wind. It's doing terrible things to us as well, but this hole is more detrimental than anything else would possibly be, because it's a hole in the bottom of the boat, which is suboptimal for floating capabilities. Okay, so another hole had formed on this, and we just managed to bend it over and close it, so heck yeah. But we got another hole on the tip right here, which we'll just iron that until nice and solid. Okay, so we got both ends fused, which is perfect. Then what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take it like this, put that on top, and then just run along the keel of the boat, the bottom, just to try and, I don't know, do something. I don't know what I'm going for here, but I had the thought, yeah, let's try it. I want to widen the bottom so it's more stable, you know? That's what I'm trying to do. It might be time to give this a shot at floating, because that seems, I don't know if I'm going to get this fused together any better. Probably could do better up here at the top, but I don't care. Okay, so now we're getting ballast to help it so the boat doesn't tip over. I'm going to put my lead bullets in Ziploc bags, which is the best way to get lead, is outdoor range. Don't tell nobody that, but obviously millions of people are not going to see this video. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take these ballast and we're going to put it down in the bottom, in the front and the back. And we're putting it in Ziploc bags That way, if or when this thing sinks, we don't lose all of it. And then also this way, we can control where the lead is better. So it's a win-win circumstance. Okay, so we were just on our way down to the creek. But we found ourselves this little lizard. So we're just gonna put him back up here and let him have fun on the plant. Okay, so we have here our boat. We've got our ballast in there. We're gonna test it out right here where the water's pretty calm. And we're gonna see if we can float. Oh my gosh, it worked. Oh, it's working. It's floating. Okay, so it's sinking, but it's floating. Or it's almost sinking, but it's floating. No, it's taking on water. But look at that. It floats. It sinks, but it floats. I'll be sinking if I'm not careful with my footing. Look at that. Okay. So it's taking on, oh, there it goes. It's taking on water. Let's see. Okay, so water's coming out the top right there. Maybe a tiny bit there, but our hole responsible for the sinking is right there. We just pour that out. Maybe redistribute more of the ballast towards the front. Yeah, no, but it just floats. There might be a little too much ballast, but just the fact that it's floating is insane. Look at it go. I ran aground. That's sick. Oh my gosh, it worked. First try. Heck yeah, man. Okay, so this means we can make a big boat that I can ride in. And yes, it will sink like this. But that's totally fine. I'll wear a life jacket. So stay tuned for part 2 when I make one that I fit in and I can go kayaking in. That is going to be exciting.